just like to introduce our first musician, wonderfully socially conscious, half of the duo still on the hill, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Abel. Well, you know, I was trying to figure out what would be appropriate for today, and I was having a hard time actually, and I didn't have anything that we'd written that really seemed just right, and then I started thinking about old songs, and then I started thinking about Buffy St. Marie, and so I got on YouTube and I found this awesome recording of her singing Universal back in '66 or something, and she was about 18 years old, and it just seemed the words. It's a sad thing that the words are about as current as they were that long ago. But let's see if I can do it justice here. So. He's 5'2" and he's 6'4". He fights with missiles and spears. He's all of 31 and he's only 17. He's been a soldier for 1,000 years. He's a Catholic, he's a Hindu, he's an atheist, he's a Jain. He's a Buddhist, he's a Baptist, he's a Jew. And he knows he shouldn't kill, but he knows he always will. Kill you for me, and my friend and me for you. And he's fighting for Canada, and he's fighting for France, and he's fighting for the good old USA. And he's fighting for the Russians, and he's fighting for Japan. And he thinks he'll bring an end to war this way. But without him, how could Hitler have condemned him in Dachau? And without him, Caesar would have stood alone. He's the one who gave his body as a weapon of the war. And without him, all this killing can go on. Yes, he's the universal soldier, and he really is to blame. And his orders come from far away no more. They the people, can't you see? This is not a way to put an end to war. This is not a way to put an end to war. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kelly. Now I'd just like to introduce our next speaker, and his name's John Gray, and he's actually running for the U.S. Senate as a Green. And I really support John Gray. I think he's got a lot of vision, and he's got a huge heart, and he has a lot of courage, and I really trust him. It's something that's hard to find among people running for office. And I think that we really should contemplate really supporting the Green Party, because it looks like, I mean, I already knew that the Republican Party was captured by corporate interests, and now it looks like the Democratic Party is almost completely, I mean, we have a few heroes in there, but it's so hard for them to fight against the money power that is being wielded over both parties. I mean, you have to raise massive amounts of money to try to win. So there may have to be another way to deal with that. And one of the most important issues in solving our government and taking it back from this capture is ending corporate personhood. Corporate personhood is, I think, the most important issue in America. And a lot of people don't understand it. I didn't understand it until about a year ago, or until recently, within this year. And it's really 1886, the Santa Clara decision established corporate personhood. And it gave corporations all the rights that were meant for natural humans like you or I, a living, breathing human. Corporations were given this right. And this is where this idea that corporations as persons deserve the right to free speech, and that's been translated into corporations being able to donate massive amounts of money to by our elections and by our government. And I would argue that our federal government is almost completely owned by corporations, and we have to end corporate personhood. And if your candidates aren't talking about corporate personhood, they're very likely not talking about the most important issue. And this is one of the reasons I totally support John Gray, and I hope that other candidates in Arkansas can find the courage to not only educate themselves about this issue, but also stand up against it and call for a constitutional amendment to define a person as a natural person. That's what we need. A natural person deserves the rights to free speech and rights to privacy. And the problems of corporate personhood go far beyond what I probably should go into right now, but I'll just say